All right, 49ers fans, buckle up because we're diving into a whirlwind of news, updates, and analysis as we approach the business end of the season. The San Francisco 49ers are in a unique position right now, and every single game from this point forward carries massive implications for playoff positioning and momentum. Looking back at last night's action around the league, the Philadelphia Eagles' loss to the Chargers was shocking for a number of reasons. Both quarterbacks underperformed dramatically, and while injuries played a role, it was still a performance that raises questions about consistency and poise under pressure. Now, if the current standings hold, the 49ers would face the Eagles in the playoffs, which naturally sparks a lot of debate about how this matchup could unfold. The Niners' secondary, in particular, must be watching that game tape intently, analyzing every throw, every route, and every decision, imagining themselves in that scenario. The thought of facing a struggling but still talented Eagles offense can be both an opportunity and a challenge, depending on how the team executes on game day. And let's be honest, Eagles fans have a reputation for being extremely passionate, to the point where they are willing to boo their own players if performances are lacking, which is wild to witness. That level of intensity and scrutiny adds a layer of pressure that the 49ers will have to embrace if this potential matchup comes to pass. Moving on from that, we have some truly unprecedented news on the quarterback front across the league that could impact multiple games down the stretch. Philip Rivers, yes, the 44-year-old veteran who last played in the NFL during the 2020 season for the Colts, has officially agreed to join their practice squad after a recent workout. It is wild to think that a player of his age, essentially a grandfather in football terms, might actually step onto the field in a regular season game again. What makes this scenario even more remarkable is that Rivers has been completely absent from NFL action for 5 seasons. This is not just a veteran coming back. It is a man returning after years away from professional football, and yet there is a sense that he could still be effective if the opportunity arises. His presence raises all sorts of questions for teams facing the Colts in the near future, including the 49ers when they meet them on December 22nd. Will it be Riley Leonard under center, or will it be Rivers getting a chance to make history by playing after such an extended absence? The numbers are staggering. If Rivers starts, he would break the record for the longest gap between NFL starts for a quarterback over 40 years old, surpassing the previous mark of 1,777 days. The league is unpredictable, and situations like this only emphasize the level of adaptability and preparation that teams must maintain week in and week out. The quarterback situation across the league this season has been erratic to say the least, with multiple high-profile players struggling under pressure. Week 14, in particular, showcased just how volatile performances can be, with multiple quarterbacks producing unexpectedly poor results. Players like Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, and Baker Mayfield have all experienced games filled with turnovers, sacks, and erratic decision-making, proving that no quarterback, no matter how elite, is immune to the pressures of a long season. Even rising stars like Jaden Daniels have faced their own challenges, demonstrating that the sophomore slump is real, and that consistency at the quarterback position is a rare commodity. The 49ers, of course, must analyze these situations closely, recognizing patterns and learning from both the successes and failures of quarterbacks across the league. For a team aiming for deep playoff runs, understanding opponent tendencies and anticipating errors can be the difference between a first-round exit and a Super Bowl appearance. This season has been a constant reminder that every throw, every read, and every snap matters immensely, and the margin for error has never been smaller. Turning our attention back to the Niners specifically, there have been some significant roster moves that could influence the team's trajectory. Special teams have always been a focal point for the 49ers, and acquiring Garrett Wallow off waivers from Denver adds experience and depth to that unit. Wallow brings over 130 snaps of special teams experience this season and nearly 700 total over the past 4 years, making him a reliable option for critical moments in games. Meanwhile, placing guard Ben Bart on season-ending injured reserve creates challenges, but also opportunities for other players to step up. Curtis Robinson's return to special teams duties and the elevation of Eric Kendricks, to focus exclusively on defensive responsibilities shows a strategic approach that prioritizes efficiency and readiness, ensuring that the team is leveraging its talent where it is needed most. On the offensive side, signing wide receiver Javon Baker to the practice squad provides the coaching staff with a young, intriguing option. Baker has a diverse background, having played at Alabama and UCF before entering the NFL, and while he hasn't yet made a significant impact at the professional level, his athleticism and experience in different systems could be valuable in practice and potentially in games if called upon. These moves reflect a proactive mindset from the front office, one that seeks to maximize both talent and flexibility heading into the final weeks of the season. The kicker position, often overlooked but critically important in close games, has seen positive developments as well. Eddie Pinheiro's return to action is a massive boost for the 49ers, giving them a reliable option for clutch moments in upcoming contests. Special teams performance can often swing the momentum in tight games, and having a kicker of Pinheiro's caliber ready to step onto the field alleviates concerns and allows the team to focus on execution in other areas. Alongside the offensive and defensive adjustments, this ensures that the 49ers are preparing comprehensively for the challenges ahead, especially as they gear up for critical matchups that could determine their playoff path. The playoff picture in the NFC remains incredibly dynamic, with multiple teams jockeying for position and no clear frontrunner emerging. The Rams currently hold the bye week, but the remaining games involving the Bears, Packers, Seahawks, and Eagles are shaping up to be high-stakes contests with playoff implications. The 49ers' upcoming matchup against the Eagles, potentially in Philadelphia, presents a classic test of resilience and adaptability. The team has been in hostile environments before and has shown the ability to execute under pressure, but facing an unpredictable opponent on the road in a critical game will demand their absolute best performance. Across the conference, 7 of the top 8 NFC teams are separated by no more than 2 wins, creating an incredibly tight and competitive field where every game matters. For the 49ers, maintaining focus, capitalizing on opportunities, and minimizing mistakes will be essential as they aim to secure home field advantages and favorable matchups in the postseason. Roster depth, versatility, and strategic acquisitions are central themes as we approach these decisive weeks. The Niners' moves, including special teams enhancements, practice squad signings, and key elevations, demonstrate a holistic approach to preparation. Combining this with careful analysis of quarterback performances across the league and the ever-changing playoff landscape, the team is positioning itself for success. Fans should expect high-intensity practices, adjustments tailored to specific opponents, and a coaching staff that leaves no stone unturned. As the season enters its final stretch, the focus is squarely on execution, awareness, and seizing the opportunities that arise from the unpredictable nature of NFL football. Every matchup from this point forward carries immense significance, and the 49ers are preparing to meet that challenge head-on, blending experience, strategy, and talent in pursuit of their ultimate goal. As we move deeper into the final stretch of the season, the intensity around the San Francisco 49ers continues to escalate, and the team is in a position where every practice, every snap, and every coaching decision could define their path to the playoffs. Heading into Titans week, there is an undeniable buzz around the locker room, and the energy is palpable among both players and fans. The Titans present a unique challenge with a mix of physicality and strategic versatility that tests every facet of the 49ers' game plan. Defensive adjustments, offensive schemes, and special teams execution must all align perfectly, because in games like this, small mistakes can have massive consequences. The 49ers have consistently shown resilience in the past, and the coaching staff is undoubtedly working tirelessly to ensure that the team is prepared for every possible scenario. Matchups in the NFL are rarely straightforward, and the margin for error diminishes dramatically as the stakes rise, particularly when playoff seeding and momentum are on the line. One of the most intriguing elements of the 49ers season has been their ability to adapt to unexpected circumstances. Injuries, roster changes, and shifts in opponent strategies have all demanded creativity and flexibility, and the team has repeatedly demonstrated an ability to rise to these challenges. The quarterback position, as always, remains a focal point not only for the 49ers offense, but also for the league at large. Watching performances around the NFL highlights just how volatile and unpredictable this position can be. Week after week, elite quarterbacks have faced unusual adversity, whether through turnovers, sacks, or uncharacteristic mistakes, reminding everyone that football is a game of constant adjustments. For the 49ers, studying these situations provides a blueprint for both exploiting opponent weaknesses and reinforcing their own areas of vulnerability. Preparation, film study, and execution under pressure are not optional. They are critical components of a playoff-ready team. The level of detail in every defensive assignment and offensive route has never been higher, and coaches are leveraging every resource to ensure that their players are prepared to respond dynamically to the challenges they will face. The special teams improvements continue to stand out as a cornerstone of the 49ers strategy. Garrett Wallow's addition brings a wealth of experience and athleticism to a unit that has consistently been a point of strength and reliability. With over 130 snaps in the current season and nearly 700 total in the last 4 years, his presence allows the coaching staff to rotate responsibilities effectively and maximize efficiency. Curtis Robinson's reintegration into the special teams role further solidifies this unit, providing continuity and leadership in crucial moments. Meanwhile, the offensive side of the team has been bolstered with promising young talent, including the addition of wide receiver Javon Baker to the practice squad. Baker's journey through multiple programs and brief stints in the NFL has prepared him to contribute in practice and potentially in games, giving the coaching staff a versatile option for rotations and injury contingencies. This careful management of depth across the roster reflects a broader strategic vision, where flexibility and readiness are as important as raw talent. The ability to adapt mid-game and throughout the season is what often separates playoff contenders from those that fall short, and the 49ers are clearly investing heavily in this principle. The return of Eddie Pinheiro at kicker has been a game-changer, providing a reliable and consistent presence in special teams. Having a kicker who can be trusted in critical moments alleviates a significant layer of pressure from both the offense and coaching staff, allowing the team to focus more on execution and play calling without second-guessing scoring opportunities. In a league where games are often decided by single points, having confidence in this position cannot be overstated. The impact of a dependable kicker extends beyond mere points. It influences play calling, clock management, and even defensive strategy, as opponents must account for the potential of long-range field goals. Pinheiro's return is timely, aligning perfectly with the most consequential segment of the season, and this kind of stability in a critical role enhances the team's overall performance. Off the field, the mental and emotional preparation of the team has been just as important as the physical. Facing the intensity of playoff-caliber competition requires a balance of focus, resilience, and adaptability. The 49ers have been through hostile environments before, and the lessons learned from those experiences are invaluable. Road games in particularly challenging stadiums, where crowd noise and hostile atmospheres can influence every snap, require a level of concentration and composure that is honed through experience and meticulous preparation. The coaching staff's emphasis on mental fortitude and situational awareness ensures that players are ready not only physically, but psychologically for the challenges ahead. This holistic approach to preparation, encompassing both physical and mental readiness, exemplifies what it means to be a team built for postseason success. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. A low, persistent buzz has been circulating through the league, the kind that starts as a whisper in locker room corners before spilling into the wider football world. Quarterback Josh Allen, usually careful with anything related to career decisions, let slip a line that immediately ignited conversations. That's why I didn't go to the 49ers. The remark, delivered almost casually, came paired with a blunt criticism aimed at what he called a bad front office. That single comment cracked open a wave of speculation. Allen has never been publicly tied to a move to San Francisco. Yet quiet, off-season chatter has long hinted that some level of interest existed behind closed doors. Now, with this unexpected admission, the narrative gains a new shade, perhaps the outline of a story that almost happened but quietly died before reaching daylight. The 49ers are a franchise whose name carries weight, a roster built to compete, a respected system, a history lined with success. But Allen's words suggest a different picture behind the scenes, one that reportedly raised red flags for him during informal conversations. People close to the quarterback say he was looking for stability, a clear long-term plan, and creative trust, elements that, in his view, weren't fully present in the discussions with San Francisco's leadership. His comment also sent ripples through Buffalo, leaving fans to wonder whether it was just a throwaway jab or something more intentional. Team sources insist Allen wasn't trying to stir controversy, but the spark had already lit the kind of rumor wildfire the league loves to feed on. Executives around the NFL are quietly asking whether his critique points to deeper structural issues within the 49ers, issues that other players may also be noticing. For now, everything remains in the realm of whispers, exactly where stories like this thrive. But one thing is certain. When a quarterback of Josh Allen's stature speaks, even a murmur becomes headline material. And this time, the buzz isn't fading anytime soon. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.